All right, guys, this is big, urgent news. A outbreak has just been declared, and they are now tracking and tracing people. They are now declaring that they are doing contact tracing. Do you remember that from 2020? It seems like these things are happening all over again. All right, so let's get into the details here really quick. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos a day, keeping you guys updated on this big news. All right, so this is what's happening. This was just announced that they are now tracking dozens and dozens of people, and it's starting. This is how it starts. They start with a single person, a single contact, and then it spreads, and then now they're tracking millions of people. Do you remember that on your phone in 2020 where it automatically turned on this contact tracing, and it would tell you if you got close to people that had the thing that they said was going around? All right, so they are now doing this again. It has just been announced for the bird stuff, all right, for this bird thing going around. And they also just made a major announcement in the Supreme Court of Minnesota as well, upholding these laws that went into effect, these emergency laws and proclamations. They are upholding it, and they're saying that these things can be used again. They just decided that. We will get into more details of all that in just a second, but you can see this here. This is what's going on currently. They are now tracking and tracing dozens of people, and they're saying it's due to this outbreak of the bird, you know what, that's in Colorado. So you can see here it says dozens of Colorado dairy farm workers monitored for bird symptoms. Right? This is how it started before. This is how it started last time. And they're saying, oh, they're keeping track of who'd you talk to, where'd you go, who'd you interact with, all these things. And they're making these people isolate and quarantine. All right, they're saying that these people need to stay away from the general public so they don't spread this to anyone else. All right, so these narratives are picking up again. It seems like we're having deja vu all over again, and we don't want this to happen. We don't want this in our country again. We do not want this. We need to say no. We don't want this to happen. And we could see shutdowns of the supply chain. It's already happening. Food supply chain is being majorly bottlenecked right now because they have to do testing for all cattle and chicken that transport, and all the milk, chicken, and eggs that are now being transported as well have to be tested and make sure they don't contain remnants of this. This was a federal order that just went into effect last week, and all these other different states are making similar rules as well. I reported on how in Michigan they just announced these emergency rules, and they have their own rules now to prevent the movement of cattle and chickens, and they're saying that it has to have a negative test to be moved around to enter or exit the state. This is spreading like wildfire, and this is a major hit and attack to our food supply. This is causing almost 100 million chickens have been culled from this just in the past year, right? So this is big. You can see here that the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment confirmed Friday that approximately 7 dairy farm workers are currently being monitored for possible symptoms of, you know what? It says the 70 workers were recently exposed, and they were employed at 2 Colorado dairy farms. Neither farms or the workers have been identified, right? So they're not saying what farm this is, and they're saying nobody has symptoms, but they're providing antiviral drugs to them, and they're tracking and tracing them, and they're saying this is related to the outbreak that was reported on April 25th. So they're contact tracing these people, and they're also suggesting them to quarantine and not interact with the general public, because they're saying that this could be it. This could be patient zero here, right? And check this out. Look at this, right as I speak of this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Do you see this on my finger? Look at this, guys. Do you see that tick? There's a tick right on my hand. Do you see that? Look at that. Lone Star tick. I'm telling you guys, they're crazy right now. Let me get rid of this bad boy really quick. That's another thing you need to be aware of, is these ticks. I'm telling you, this is at least the 10th, maybe 15th tick that we've pulled off us today. Just today in our family, right? My kids have had them on them. My wife, this is probably the 4th or 5th one that I've pulled off today that I've had on me. All right. So, and these ticks spread alpha gal, which makes you allergic to red meat. What a coincidence. And this is just popping up out of nowhere, that Lone Star tick that was on me with the dot on it. All right. And also Lyme's disease. All right. Everyone knows about that. So this stuff's coming. All right. They're doing something, and we need to be ready. We need to be prepared. And it seems like 2020 is happening all over again. All right. You can see here as well, the Minnesota Supreme Court. All right. They're saying that this emergency declaration that happened in 2020 is okay. They're saying all the powers were fine because businesses were suing them. They're saying, hey, you shut us down. We lost a ton of business. We went under. We had to do all these mandates and enforce all this stuff that we couldn't enforce, and we were fined for it and all this stuff. And they're saying that it was all good. It's all good to go. That's what the Minnesota Supreme Court is saying right now. So, and this, they've been litigating this for almost 4 years now. And then what do you know? 4 years later, 2024, they're like, it's good to go. These laws were actually okay. So now they have the green light to implement them again. And now to shut it down, they're going to have to go through the whole thing again. Oh, sorry, you got to go through another 4-year lawsuit to get any type of restitution, and then they'll just say it's fine, right? And you're not going to get anything. Your business was wiped out. Your business was shut down. Inflation is insane now from all the money that was printed in 2020, right? That's why we're seeing all these problems here, because the money printing was insane. The money printer was on maximum gear, right? Maximum overdrive. And that's why we're seeing all this inflation hitting right now. Okay, so let me know what you guys think. Do you think that they're getting ready for something, right? If you didn't see my video yesterday, go check it out. Healthcare Insider just sent us a video showing what they're doing, right? Showing behind the scenes that it seems like they're getting ready, right? They're setting up all these tents everywhere, and it doesn't seem like they're doing this for nothing. It seems like all these things are happening at the same time. It seems like a coordinated event. And what else is also happening? They're about to sign this global treaty with WHO, right? The WHO, the World Health Organization, right? They are about to sign it. Biden's about to sign this treaty for it this month as well, in May, which gives a lot of the decision making to the global governance bodies, and they even set up new bodies, all right, to take over the supply chain. All these things are happening, okay, at the same time, and we need to be on red alert, and we need to say no, we don't want these things to happen, and we also need to be getting prepared and be getting ready, all right? So get yourself stocked up, get yourself ready now. Get your prepper pantry stocked up. Get some toilet paper. I don't know what it is, but you remember, guys, people were losing their minds and there was no toilet paper. It was crazy. It was hard to get toilet paper for like 6 months to a year at the start of this whole thing. It was nuts. It was insane. Toilet paper. This should be one of the easiest things to get, right? Think about its value. You're just throwing it in the toilet, throwing it away. It shouldn't be this insane commodity, but that's what it turns into, right? Because people just lose their mind. So have your preps ready now so you don't have to be going out there and panic buying, because it hits most people at the last minute, right? Most people aren't thinking preemptively. That's what we're talking about here is, what are they doing? We're, we're the watchmen. We're up on the watchtower. We see the enemy moving around, right? The enemy's 3 miles away. It's 5 miles away. They're making movements. They're loading up their equipment, right? And we're just telling everyone, hey, they're doing this. They might not come over here, but they're only a few miles away and they're getting ready and they're putting all their battle armor on right now, right? So that's what we're doing here, just letting everyone know. So once it shows up at your door, you're not panicking, because that's what most people do. It hits them last second and they go panic buy and go buy all the toilet paper at Dollar General, right? And if these things do hit, a good place to look is these dollar stores. A lot of times the grocery store will be cleaned out, but you can find a lot of good items at your local dollar store, and there's normally a lot of them, right? So thank you guys. Please hit it up for me down there. It helps to get these warnings out. I appreciate that. All right, they are tracking, tracing, they're suggesting these people quarantine, all right? And this is a repeat of 2020, all right? So thank you guys. Get your preps ready. Get your homestead ready as well. I was showing you guys my chicken coop yesterday. We're doubling down, right? We have a bunch of chickens. Maybe we'll just get one more, right? I'm joking. We have enough, but that's the spirit I have is, what, let's get a few more. Or let's get a few more other animals. We might get some other animals here soon because it's critical, okay? And if this stuff really kicks into high gear, then we could see them start targeting backyard flocks and make you test your flocks. If you have over 20 chickens or something like that, you need to test them because they need to make sure, right? They who knows? They're already doing this for all birds and cattle that are moving state to state. This is a huge burden on farmers that they're just expected to pay for these tests and to manage all these new systems that they have to put in place to test all these animals, right? This is a huge burden, costs a ton of money, and this is an attack on our food supply. So get your own food supply going in your backyard right now. Get your own food supply going in your prepper pantry. And it doesn't take much, right? You don't have to have a giant bucket of storable food. You can just have a 20-pound bag of rice, some canned goods, right? Some water jugs, and you'll be ahead. You'll be weeks ahead. That's a few weeks worth of food and water and canned goods right there, right? So you're already ahead of 95% of people just having that. So it doesn't take much. And then if you can get that under your belt and just keep doing that, all right? Now I'm just going to spend another $20, $30, whatever, every month, every week, every couple weeks, whatever you can afford, on just some extra preps. And then it's just food you can eat. If you never use it for an emergency or anything, then you just eat it. You just rotate your pantry and eat the old stuff, put some new stuff in. So thank you guys. I hope you have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.